Next, click start recording. Wait, are we live? Oh. Wizard. Daniel the Wizard. Can you just double check my work? Make sure I did this right? I clicked one button, and I think it blew up. I'm over here in the back. I clicked start streaming. I clicked one button. Is it good?
Well, it says what?
Okay, we're live. We're live. Thank you.
All right.
How's the camera look?
The camera looks good.
Perfect.
It's kind of in tight. Where's the remote for it? We can pull it out.
That's a good question.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Is it this one?
I don't know. There we go. There we go.
Beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody. Welcome to Lightning Talks. I will be your host this evening, Blockchain John here in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Really quick, I just want to show you guys some photos of the past couple weeks. Really quick, while I get you guys' attention. If you guys are in the Discord, which you guys should join, there's a lot of images, a lot of events. This particular event right here is Hack Comedy. A lot of comedians around the nation kind of tour around, and every single month we get new comedians coming over here. And right in the classroom over here, they do their comedy shows. Yep. And this particular one was random pictures. Check it out. Can you guys see that? Good. Poker night. You guys like poker night? Yes. Yes, that's afterwards. A couple of the guys, I think they're hanging out outside. Yeah. If you guys want some T-shirts, we do have T-shirts now. T-shirts are in the back. Yeah, that's a good photo. Admit it, that's a good photo. Okay. Oh, I had to get pictures of the dogs. Pictures of the dogs. Nice.
You have to hit transition to.
Oh.
This is what's live.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm
See?
gonna hit transition because it still shows that.
Okay.
So
I'm still learning.
give it a few seconds to catch up so you can say, "Well, this is the hamburger."
Okay. The hamburger. Do you see the hamburger?
No, give it a minute.
It should see the hamburger. The hamburger pizza. The hamburger pizza. See? That's why I like to do this before. Hamburger pizza's live. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so one of the members was like, I don't know, thought it was a really cool idea to make a hamburger pizza. All right. Enough of that. If you guys want to join Discord, there's a bunch of QR codes around the dojo that you guys can scan and join Discord. All right. Your mess. Where? Tiana? No. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, what do we have? There it is. Okay, perfect. Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, I'll get to that. Oh, let me do that right now. Okay. All right, kind of out of order here. This is a new book that's going to be coming out. You said next week, right?
Yeah.
Next week? All right, Chris. Where's Chris at? He's not here? He's here? Okay. All right, so he's doing a book launch here. You guys want to check this out? This is Start Telling People by Chris Matthews. Most innovative ideas takes years to quietly design, validate, and test. Eventually, there comes a day when it's time to stop being a secret. Quite the opposite, in fact. This is a book about that transition. So if you guys want to meet Chris, maybe get a book signing. He's doing book signings next Friday after Lightning Talks. Right? For you guys watching on YouTube, come on by. All right. Back to our daily program. Okay, again, welcome to Lightning Talks at Hacker Dojo. If you guys are a guest for the first time here, make sure you guys sign up in the front desk. All right, Hacker Dojo, how long have you been here? Is this your first time here? Raise your hand. Oh, first time here. Okay, good. Welcome. All right, 1 week. You guys been here more than a couple days? 1 month. Welcome. 1 month. 1 year. Now, Balaji. You been here 2 years? 10 years? You've been here 10 years? 100 years? All right. Here we go. Talents. This is a new slide that I'm putting up. I'm just curious, what kind of audience do we have? What are your talents? I just want to hear you guys. Here's a couple samples that I have up on the slide here: painting, singing, writing, origami, cooking. I want to hear you guys. Anybody? Crickets? Emily? Anyone else? Balaji? You got talents? Nobody has talents here. I have a crystal ball. Crystal ball, so you can predict the future. Good. Predict the future. What else? One more. Okay, go ahead. You can rollerblade your dog. Yeah, I can rollerblade with your dog. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, that's actually really cool. Go ahead.
It's not really a talent, and I don't want to jinx it, but I can fake stocks long term.
Ooh, nice. Hey, let me talk to you afterwards. All right, Emily. Building amazing software organizations. Good. Yeah, nobody likes to solve crimes. Photo, video editing. No, we need an editor. Yes, please. All right, next slide. Here we go. Like to teach? I don't know, man. I don't do editing. All this stuff is non-edited. It's all live, and this is the way it goes. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. What do you have? What is it? Oh, editing? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's what we need, and that's what the next slide is. Volunteers. We need volunteers. Hacker Dojo is a nonprofit, so we definitely do need volunteers. All right, donations and suggestions. There is a QR code, the Venmo QR code there, if you guys want to scan and donate to Hacker Dojo. It does help out with the offset of the barbecues that we have all the time, and it helps pay the bills. All right. Hacker Dojo links, Meetup, website, YouTube, Twitch, Slack, Discord, and Twitter. All the links are there, and yeah, check those out. And group photo afterwards. It would be really great if somebody can remind me afterwards, Blockchain John, we should take a group photo in the back. I always forget. I get so caught up in everything at the end that I forget the group photo. But this is the ones that we got last time. Last week I forgot. Remind me. YouTube, remind me, YouTube. All right. All right, rule number 1 is be excellent to each other. That is the rule of Hacker Dojo. Our speakers will have 5 minutes to talk. They do have pretty much, what do we have? We have Elon Battery, let's see, Jabrium, custom Discord, decentralized manufacturing with underused manufactured robotics. Interesting. Laser onboarding, and macro and crypto. Cool. And with that said, let's go ahead and get our first speaker up. Balaji, welcome. You guys didn't need an applaud. I was just messing with you guys. Oh, and by the way, it's obviously all being recorded on YouTube. It's Saturday. Maybe I mentioned that as well. While Balaji gets set up here. So while Balaji gets set up, go ahead. Tomorrow we do have a hackers block party. Okay. Hackers block parties tomorrow. It's going to be a big event. There's going to be a few hundred people. Like right now, we have about maybe 20 people here. It's not much. Times that by 10 easily. It's going to be so full in here, full outside, all in the front. Come by tomorrow. Hackers block party. Obviously, the purpose of that, we are trying to fundraise money. We got to offset the bills. It's a nonprofit, but there's still bills to pay: the electricity, the building, and janitorial and stuff like that, right? So yeah, we are trying to fundraise with the Hackers Block Party tomorrow. So come on down, check it out, help out the dojo. And I feel like there's one more thing. Oh, last thing, I got to remind you guys on YouTube and everybody else here, the Hive is available. We got a couple of desks available. If you guys want to know more information about getting your own dedicated desk at the Hive, talk to Emily in the back. Thank you guys. All right, all yours.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Hi. I'm Balaji. I'm a software consultant. Worked for different companies, including Toyota and General Motors before. Based on my some experience in that line, and also I work in biotech companies like Genentech area. So to combine the both experience, I come up with some funny concept called Elon batteries. So Elon Musk is one of the inspirer for me to create some new ideas which I presented before. One of the other area is batteries, which is we are facing lithium scarcity and rare mineral scarcity also. So to compensate, we have to have some other way of resource for getting battery power. So I come up with the biology background based eel is one of the electric fish which I have seen in Georgia SeaWorld, I think. It is produce electricity around 650 volts, which can knock down people. So this eel has the capacity for producing sodium-based ion electricity. So I thought, why not create one based on this called Elon batteries. So if you think if we can modify genetically and create form of eels, so this is electric eel form, like battery packs we can create, and which can produce biological electricity, bioelectricity we call. Even the fireflies create using the sodium ion blinking electricity. Similarly, the eels create 650 volts of electricity on that. So if we can create a battery out of it by gene editing or modifying their structure, can we have a battery for that? That's one wild idea. So as it is creating electricity, but it has to be modified to create more. So the other idea I was having is the coconut. Coconut is also having some electrolytes. It is widely available. Why not create one from car batteries from that? Harnessing the power of nature, basically. So it's not moving. Okay. So based on the some of the modification of genetically, we can create some electrolyte dense coconut which can create some electricity that way. So those are some of the ideas in to make it some are more cool also, we can use it. Thank you.
You still got 2 minutes, Balaji. Come on.
Two more?
You got 2 more minutes. You want to add a little bit more, or you good?
No, I don't have any more.
Okay.
Any questions?
Do we have any questions for Balaji?
Do you know how much current that stuff produces? Like the eel produces a lot of voltage, right? But do you know how much current it produces?
Around 650 volts. 650.
And how many amps?
I'm not sure amps, but that's the old high count I know.
In all of this, you have to answer 2 questions, volts and amps.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else? Good. 600 watts. All right, Balaji, thank you.
Thank you.
That works too.
All right, we got Fast Flyers. Alexander, come on up. Fast Flyers. Interesting. Fast Flyers. He's good? He's good? All right. So far, I like the smile. Is this your first time talking up here?
It's my second time.
Your second time? All right, cool. Welcome.
How do I plug my
Do me a favor,
computer?
just introduce yourself, give us a little background so everybody can know who you are.
Yeah. How do I get
Go ahead.
this? I'm already sure. Oh. Might need the port. Yeah, I might need the. Yeah, so my name is Alexander. This is my second time in Hacker Dojo. Came for the hackathon last time. It was amazing. Found a great technical co-founder to work with now, so we're building this together and looking forward to the future of Fast Flyers. So, we can set this in full screen or slideshow. Oh, we're doing this happened last time too. Actually, you had to drag it across. Let me see. Where's my mouse? My mouse is over here. So I gotta do the thing where I do this. How do I get this? Okay. Alright. Cool. This. Okay, great. Now we're on track. Okay, awesome. This is Fast Flyers. How often do you see this? Take this off. Yeah. How often do you see this in the coffee shop? Cluttered window spaces, cluttered community boards that just don't get noticed anymore. They're always the second priority for these stores. You have window spaces that are cluttered, and of course, you have this that builds up after a long time. Ads that don't even exist anymore. They're not relevant. They go to waste. Businesses that don't even exist anymore. You name it. Actually, this one right here, mind you, all these ads are taken by me. These pictures are taken by me. This is my own on-the-ground research. This flyer specifically went to the store owner. I was like, hey, you take flyers? I have one I want to drop. He goes, oh, no, I throw those out at the end of the day. What is that telling me? This advertiser is losing all of his money there, so it wasn't really helpful for him. Right here, we have a picture in City Hall. If you want to advertise in City Hall, you can throw up a flyer with a piece of tape if you are cool with that district person. Here we have Uber taking advantage of an abandoned building. We have restaurants that have repurposed newspaper stands that don't really work anymore. And we have a pillar that definitely has had the issue of being torn down often enough that they need a zip tie. So the problem here is that these places that want to advertise for free have the issue that they need visibility, right? They're not getting the visibility. They need that current stuff. I go through more problems here. This is in a VC meeting and reiterating the issue that people want visibility, but no one remembers that they need that visibility. You have one person, right, that did a startup pitch showing that, hey, this is my company, come fund me, right? Also, you have the issue of a retail store that is now advertising another retail product in their own store. So that's another example of spaces and stores that they don't even realize they are cross advertising their competition without even realizing it. So that's another issue that I've noticed. Screens that don't not being used. This is the one picture that's not taken by me. But as we can see, unutilized screens, no one really watches them. You're not going to call for an ad on the highway, hopefully. So, yeah, check it out. Fast Flyers is an on-demand advertising platform that connects advertisers and the store owners. Our mission is to enable businesses to monetize their screens and provide a hyper-local advertising network for their customers. We want to transform the way advertisers are creating seamless and profitable experiences and establish a robust network that drives small business engagement. So in a space like this, our fast flyer program looks a little different than it would in a space like a small business that takes coffee shop people who are there all the time, coming in and out. Mind you, the system that we have today is not with us right now, as Claudio is working on our Raspberry Pi. So went through the problem, went through the pain points that these store owners are experiencing, but without realizing it. When you have a cable box or you have a streaming platform and you're showing these ads on your TV within your restaurant, your nail salon, barbershop, you don't earn anything from it. We want to redirect that money. The market analysis, $650 billion in digital advertising. In advertising in general. And we have a compound annual growth rate expected within, we're in 23 now, so in the next 3 years to go from 4.6 to 8.9%. So there's a promising market for money to be made. Competitive advantage, real-time advertising, control flexibility, analytics, and environmental sustainability. We let people advertise on demand. We want to enable customers. Your customer comes in for a coffee, they can also leave their advertising flyer that they are also a personal trainer. Flexibility and control, as in if you're a store owner, you can accept or deny advertising right there on the spot. Analytics, so you know the traffic that you're getting as you sent it through our ads thing. And environmental sustainability, because we're not using flyers anymore. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, that's Alexander. Question, I just want to ask the audience real quick. We do have a community board. How many of you guys have actually looked through the entire community board? Okay, 2 people.
Nice.
2 people. So this might be a thing. You have a question? Hold on. Okay, hold on.
I actually work as a product manager with LinkedIn advertising, so I understand that business relatively well. And maybe I missed this part, but one of the problem definitions was that not enough people are looking at these things, right? And you don't have the impression, so you don't have like sort of the supply essentially, right? So how are you gonna fix that? Like, do you have your own device?
So when you say not enough people are looking at these things, what things are you kind of specifically saying? Like
the flyers that are in coffee shops and stuff.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Well, most flyers, with an updated flyer now, most likely has a QR, and then you can get to that, show that reflection. But even if you drop a flyer with a QR code, it's not telling you that, oh, this flyer was at that Phil's coffee shop and not that, Phil's coffee shop, right? There's a difference, right? You may drop flyers at 3 different types of Phil's, but the one Phil that you actually want to drop it at, you're not doing it the most because you don't really have that type of data that QR is going to really reflect you on. Unless you're going to make 3 different QR codes for each coffee shop, which most advertisers aren't going to go for that. So when it comes to visibility and understanding, like, oh, are people looking at my stuff? A free flyer pass router doesn't really get that type of stuff, that type of data feedback, and that's something that we want to change.
Got it. Thanks.
All right, any other questions? One more over here.
But that's a really great question that he asked, right? Which is, that's how you have to figure out your return on investment to your advertisers. But with that said, I'm curious. In the old days, and even today with TV advertising, there's a lot of surveying and research, market research that's going on. That might be one way for you guys to overcome that, and or perhaps there is a, computer vision thing or something that allows, or maybe even a simple way for somebody to tag it and say, hey, they were there. But I think it's a very important issue that you brought up, which is if you don't do that, it's going to be very hard for you to then convince advertisers to come in and without data.
So I think advertising, the biggest thing is, it's basically a two-sided marketplace, right? There's supply and there's demand, right? Supply is basically eyeballs, right? So people looking at these things.
Mm-hmm.
And demand is then the advertisers saying, okay, we want to pay for these eyeballs, right? And one of the problems you're trying to solve is there's not enough eyeballs on these things, right? So it's a huge waste.
Right.
And so what you need to do is you need to fix that experience so that you create the eyeballs. And if you create the eyeballs, then the supply is like, it's a huge, huge market.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me give you this example right now. I have the eyeballs here in the room, and we talked about the community board that exists in the back. Essentially, I would take a TV like this and turn it into value and donation value for Hacker Dojo with a fast flyer platform. That's exactly what, to make it like real to this room, is what exactly what we're going for.
Maybe I missed that part. So you're saying you're gonna, like, the eyeballs are there, but they're not going and seeing the community board.
Right.
So you guys are gonna basically have another device where your platform is running and all the ads are shown. Like that part is not. I'm not sure about that.
So it's for a screen that already exists, old technology. That's why we go for old screens that already exist or are just not in use, not providing value.
So you just plug something.
We're gonna help this business provide value on the screen, and that's value in a lot of different ways because we have a bunch of self-starters in this room that want to get that visibility. And because it's hyper local, people know that, oh, I should go look at that because I know it's going to be about something that's relevant to this community in a sense, in one way or another. So that's also the other aspect of it. We've come to the point now with the community board that you stick on where people are sticking on top of each other, right? It doesn't get the visibility it needs anymore because now it's just become a back thought. Now, if I can repurpose a screen that's not in use, that's the goal of the Fast Flyer product. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a really good speaker. You're really good, man.
Thank you.
All right, Jim. We got Jim next. Talking about Jabrium. Jabrium, right? Do you want to get your laptop? No, I got it. Alex, oh. Jabrium. Anybody want to take a jab at what Jabrium is? Crickets? Okay. Well, we'll find out. Again, another plugin for Hackers Block Party. Make sure you guys show up. YouTube. I'm watching you, YouTube. All right.
Hi, everybody. I want to thank everybody for attending. I think I speak for all members of Hacker Dojo in stating that we consider these lightning talks to be the spark of technology fire of Silicon Valley. My name is James McGinn, and I'm here to discuss Jabrium. AI will kill Google AdWords. Nobody will type into a search engine anymore. Nobody will click links. And an extremely lucrative opportunity emerges. Conversation is the new monetizable unit of interaction. Thank you. So the solution, if conversation is a new monetizable unit of interaction, is a conversational interface. Conversation is innate to humans, like nothing else. But the question comes up, why hasn't it been done before? And actually, it has been tried before. Back in the 1990s, there was this unified messaging movement, and they tried to design a user interface around the concept of a conversation, but it ended up just being not very usable. It was not a good user experience. Jabrium fixes that. Jabrium solves the problem, and the result is something amazing. Here's the breakthrough. By design, Jabrium invokes chronological and functional isolation between periods of flow mode and periods of ponder mode. Speech to text and text to speech is the basis of the threading that's essential to Jabrium's ease of use. The threading, of course, is that these are conversation threads. Like I said, there's two modes. There's flow mode and there's ponder mode. Flow mode comes first, and flow mode involves just listening or reading a recorded message and responding or reacting to it verbally. Flow mode is not about perfection or artistry or comprehensiveness. It's about authenticity of reaction, freedom of expression, and, well, flow. Many will find flow mode exhilarating. Ponder mode is where the work gets done. Ponder mode, the interface resembles a standard desktop software. In ponder mode, the end user can let the response they made in flow mode remain, or if they want, they can make a more sophisticated response. And end users will have access to AI in order to help them complete this task. Jabrium's Ponder mode contains a marketplace for third-party AI developers. If the end user is interested, they simply click on the advertisement, and then they'll be invited to, well, they'll click on the advertisement, but they won't be involved in a conversation, not yet, because that won't be till flow mode, okay? So that's part of the functionality of keeping those two things separate. And also, the end user can remain anonymous throughout the conversation. Our unfair advantage is splitting the flow and the ponder is the secret sauce of Jabrium. The splitting of flow and ponder facilitates the reduction of AI products to digestible small bites, or at least with respect to how these products are perceived by the customer. Additionally, this method provides end users some breathing room with respect to the possibly life-altering decision to incorporate AI into their lives. That's something I think we got to consider, is a lot of customers, when it comes to actually using these products, they're going to think twice about it. They're not going to be like us. All of us, we're going to jump into it right away, but most people are going to be hesitant. And ultimately, we do expect the end user to start using Jabrium, or even the Ponder mode for that matter, as their central desktop experience in the same sense that they use their desktop now. Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
All right.
Questions about Jabrium for Jim? Do you have a question over here?
Yeah, you had said at the beginning that AI was going to kill Google AdWords. I guess I don't see how that's going to happen. Could you talk about what you see
Sure.
happening?
We're not going to point and click anymore. Nobody's going to do that. In 5 years from now, nobody will point and click at anything, even on your phone. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. Because you're going to have an AI bot you're going to talk to.
Can't that extract words and throw a...
Oh, I do. Yeah. Do you not believe it?
That's getting precise. That is going to be precise enough that an AI bot is going to be able to do it every single time, and people aren't going to still want to point and click. I don't believe it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you still use the Yellow Pages?
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, we've been pointing and clicking for the past 20, 30 years now.
How long did we use the Yellow Pages for, though? You know, my point is there's going to be a change in people's behavior. It's going to be a direct result of AI.
But the AI engine has to get it right every time. It has to properly interpret exactly what people want.
Without Jabrium, I think what you're saying is true.
All right, okay.
But the idea behind Jabrium is to split it up into small enough bites that it's more digestible to the end user.
One more question on the back.
How does Jabrium able to tell the end user it's not a bot as well? you know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
How does Terbium can tell whether the end user is not an AI bot as well? Sometimes, with like today's, sometimes we are selling those we think we are selling to a real human being, but those actually is also a bot.
You
So
mean-
how?
Let me see if I understand your question. How does Jabrium know that the AI bot is not?
The end user actually is not an AI bot as well. You know, sometime today we are we are thinking, you know, we are selling to a real
You know,
human
I don't, you could set that up if you want. I'm not sure if I understand, though, why that would be an issue.
So how can the software detect that they're actually selling to a real human being when they're selling the advertisement, you know?
I didn't understand it, but maybe you don't understand the concept here is the software is for people.
Yeah,
And so
but I
no one
can-
else is going to see your session. It's just like your own browser session. No one else is
but-
going to
but I-
see it.
But I can set up a software to use the software, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. Say it again.
Ad platforms are swamped by bots that
Oh.
drive traffic to rob revenue.
Gotcha.
So
Oh,
what
I
do
see what
you
you're
think-
saying.
How is this going to? How are you going to protect against that?
I don't, let me think. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, so,
All right. Thank you, Jim.
all right.
All right, we got Connor coming up. Custom Discord bot with hyper nodes. Is that what it says? Nodes? All right. And since it's been a while, Connor, that you've been up on stage, do me a favor, just introduce yourself, a little bit of background, so our audience knows who you are.
All right, hello, I am Connor, and I'm working on this chat GPT-based startup called Hypernodes. And, so the mission is that large language models contain sparks of general intelligence, and we've seen a research paper on that, and that human prompting can unlock these sparks, but automatic prompting, so, you know, like an AI that's self-directing. Oh, sure, sorry. An AI that's self-directing can't yet quite unlock these sparks. So we have like some exploration to do here. And text-based programming languages aren't particularly suitable. They're one-dimensional, noisy, full of boilerplate. They don't do parallelization, like, they don't visualize parallelization well. Basically you just need to pipe strings together. So this tool is built to do that. And it's built to quickly iterate on this sort of program. And I'm gonna cut my slides short just so I can do a quick demo. And this demo is a Discord bot. It's a programmable Discord bot. And the default one has this sort of quirky AI personality. Let's say I'm a new user and I want to change the personality of the bot. So I'm starting with this incognito tab to have no existing user data. So I'll like come in as a new user. But the Wi-Fi here is a little bit slow. Sorry. Bear with me a sec. So why don't I show why don't I show the prompts that I'll be changing? Oops. So this is the bot. This is the Discord bot, and this is the personality prompt. So it has, it tells it who it is, and it has like some few shot examples of how it's supposed to talk. Some of these are generated by GPT-4, by the way. So, but now say I'm a new user, and I just come in, I need to set up a new key, create a new key. So I have my new key. That'll have some value to start with. I can take a look at this example where the Discord bot example graph is. So here's that prompt, that personality prompt I saw. And say I want to change the personality to act as a over-the-top caricature of Donald Trump. And then I can save it. And here's a link that I can give to my Discord bot. I just paste it in. Almost done here, though it does take a little while to respond because it is doing, as you saw in that flow, it's actually doing multiple API requests. So this bot, it's not just something that responds to all of your prompts because that's not very human-like. You can see it's kind of got different flows here where it might respond, it might not, based on your input. So actually it's kind of a risky demo because I'm not sure it's going to respond, but oh my bad. I forgot I need to invite the bot. So this is also part of the flow, but it's really quick to do as well. And I can just bring it right into my server. Let me just paste this in and then I can ask for questions. All right, so it might respond, we'll see, but any questions?
All right, Connor, thank you. Any questions while the bot is loading up here? Little too much for everybody? Okay.
All right.
What's the response there? Okay.
So I think you mentioned your model, the foundation model you're using is ChatGPT. So if you're using, if you're going to use this common model, how do you prevent others copying your idea?
I'm not really too worried about that. I already do have, I mean, there's already people who are doing similar things, but so far, I do it best in that it's like the easiest way to quickly get started with programming with ChatGPT. But yeah, it's not the idea that's the problem, it's more the execution in my view. And that's the work.
All right. Thank you, Connor.
Right.
Where is John Connor? All right, Tino, decentralizing manufacturing with underused, was manufacturing robotics? HelloBaru.com. Okay.
Hey everyone. My name is Tino Go. I'm the founder and CEO of Baru. And so we're decentralizing manufacturing with underused robotics. So this idea came up a few years ago when I tried to get a bookcase for my house. I couldn't find it, and I discovered to get one made was a medieval process. And I found that frustrating because I knew the state of the software, the CAD and CAM software, and the automation it drove, I thought that should just be able to imagine something and it should start self-producing. So that's what we've built. We built that translation layer, that abstraction layer between what someone wants and what a machine does in a distributed network. So the distributed network matters because global supply chain shipping and warehousing consumes 40% of a $35 billion industry. So $15 billion just gets disappeared in freight and warehousing and other inventory distance-related costs. And customers can't find the products they want often. And to get something custom-made is super expensive and it takes a long time. So our solution is we design things parametrically so that every product that we sell is available in millions of variants, dimensions, colors, materials, hardware selections. So it feels very custom to the customer, but it's actually just a simple file change on our part. And when we get a sale, we send the file and the materials to a local manufacturer in our network. We're currently in 30 cities around the country in our beta. Now we're scaling. We've got 1.5 million in the sales pipeline. And for multifamily, we found that we're competitive with multifamily with imports on a landed cost and a operating risk basis. And we're also competitive with traditional manufacturers, US-based manufacturers, because our process is so much more streamlined. So that's our go-to-market. Multifamily and single family through a self-service product configurator so that designers and contractors, after they have their final elevation and layout done and site measurements are done, they can simply order custom cabinetry at 60% of typical custom pricing, delivered about 5 times faster. And so we're raising right now, and our go-to-market is to have at least one dealer in each of the top 60 metro areas with one manufacturer nearby, and at a penetration rate of 2 $15,000 custom kitchens per month per million people, our sales will be $80 million and producing about $28 million in gross margin. And that gross margin is completely redeployable into growth and tech, because we have no CapEx, we have no working capital needs, we have no inventory, we have no complex logistics. And so I'm looking for folks to help at multiple levels, either customers or collaborators, and we're also raising some growth funding too. That is our beta website where we were testing with furniture. So with that beta website, we sold custom desks to Googlers when Googlers was setting up home offices, and we sold custom desks and produced in 12 cities around the country before that program ended. And soon we will have our configurator on this site, barucabinets.com, that will let folks customize their own products in a really granular fashion, in 1/8 of an inch increments. Yeah, so. But ultimately, the goal is to get into the large general contractors, because by introducing our manufacturing models at the design and presentation stage, and having those models be directly linked to the code that drives a local machine, we'll be eliminating 80% of the soft costs. Soft costs are generally about 50% of a construction project's budget. And so, and by interlinking that design and manufacturing model, that's also AI generative design ready. So generative design presentation, pick one that you like and have the machine instructions that are associated with each of those models be sent to a local manufacturer in our network. Simple.
All right, Tino, thank you. Questions? Got a question back here?
So it's very interesting, I mean, what you guys are doing. But I'm curious, how do you handle the different objectives that a contractor has versus a end customer that you're also going after?
I didn't hear your question. How do you handle?
How do you handle the different objectives or needs of a contractor who might be working on that home versus the end customer or a homeowner here?
The contractor does what the homeowner wants. The contractor orders what the homeowner wants to install. The homeowner approves the design.
Okay.
And the typical process is a drawing is submitted to the local manufacturer, and the manufacturer takes a couple of weeks to draw shop drawings and manufacturing instructions and a product and a custom quote. We've eliminated that quoting process. So
Okay.
it's go from client approval into a product configurator, and they get immediate pricing at 5 different levels according to product grade, material grade. And out the backside of that, upon payment, comes our material list that we convert into POs and machine instructions that we send to a local manufacturer.
Okay, so who does the configuration or the figures out the configuration or the measurement?
On the what? On
The measurement of the custom cabinets.
The contractor generally does field measurements of the room, of the kitchen, and they identify exactly the field measurements, and then you can adjust all the internal cabinets to fit, as opposed to the traditional process of buying standardized cabinets and having these spacers all over the place.
Okay. Oh, pretty cool. Thank you.
All right, that's pretty cool. All right. Any more questions? One more. Here we go.
Hi, great. I think it's a great service. Do you guys just do cabinets? And my second question is, for like customized homes and things like that, is it mostly just for high-end like homes, or is it at a basic level for anyone who's like, from college up to like a high-end home?
Yeah, last year we did 2 property flips, and we were competing with IKEA with one, and KZ Kitchens, which is a Chinese import warehouse, for another. We won those 2. And the third project, which was going to be more modest also, but it blew up into this $107,000 custom home remodel. And during that year, as we were fulfilling, as I was doing the measurements repeatedly because I kept making mistakes, I learned about how broken the industry was. And so this year, we're architecting into our operations our inherent advantages, competitive advantages, and we're leaving. That's why we're delegating all the product specs to the designers and contractors.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks.
All right, Tino, thank you. All right, we got Mick coming up. Mick, hey, Mickey, yourself? No. Where is your personal AI assistant? Where is your personal AI assistant? Where is my personal AI assistant? Here, I got that microphone.
I get my own microphone. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh yeah. I have no props. I'm Mick Fitzgerald. I'm the co-founder of Style of Life. Originally, I was a automation and robotics application researcher. My first startup was the Automation and Robotics Research Institute in Fort Worth, Texas, that belonged to the University of Texas system. I got bored with with industrial robots, and about 10 years ago, I shifted my focus to automating care systems, and specifically at-home care systems. And the reason for that is that we're in the middle of a care crisis. It involves everyone. Everyone here is touched by it. Every institution in society is affected by it. And the solution to the care crisis, part of the solution, is to use technology and automation to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of our care systems at home. about in 1963 is when the problem started. There was a transition that affected the whole human race, where suddenly we went through an inflection point where population growth started to decelerate. There were two things that started that problem and persist today. One is a decrease in fertility. The 15 largest GDP nations on earth all have below replacement rate fertility. What that does is it builds into the economy a loss of labor surplus. But at the same time, the benefits of technology have given us increased longevity. So now we have a situation with our care systems where we have lots of older people, and we still have a lot of younger people, and they have to be taken care of, and it has to be done at home. We need to automate, but how do we do that, right? What do we do? How do you automate care at home? It's a service systems problem. I don't know if hackers get into what service systems are, but what it means is that at home we have to give people the tools and the power to be able to be their own resource integrators, to be able to get whatever resources they can from the wide array of disparate resources, from their health care, family and friends, government, and be able to synthesize and integrate those pieces and to cooperate them to create care. To do that, we're going to need to have a lot of personal AI assistants. And they need a place to operate, they need a place to live, and what they need more than anything else is to be able to access and make operant your personal data. We need to be able to aggregate personal data, put it in one place, and then use that to drive the automation we need to take care of ourselves. So what Style Life Hub is a cloud-based system that's a platform. It's an integration platform, and we build one for every individual. Every individual person gets a platform, and then we connect all of your resources digitally to that platform, and then build an engagement process using your personal graph data and personal AI and other automation to automate and integrate the two fundamental things that need to be done: the integration of personal data networking and personal communications. And so we put that all in one place and then automate it. It's, what it looks like, I have to wave my hands. what it looks like is this. Imagine you connected every e-commerce site that you've ever used, every portal to every healthcare provider that you have, and then you also built, rich contact profiles for all your first degrees and brought that into one place and then started to operate on it. And so the answer to the question, where is your personal AI? It's going to be in the Style Life Hub, and it's going to have to be there because you're going to need a private, personal place to operate and integrate your resources. I'm out of time, right?
20 seconds.
I got 20 seconds. I don't know how to sum that up. It's hard to do without pictures, and I appreciate you allowing me to stand here and practice on you saying it in words. And I just give me some feedback, because I don't know if, I think I understood most of that, but what about you guys?
All right, thank you, Mick. Thank you. That was actually really good. The first thing that I thought of while you were talking about that is this company called Ectolife. I think that's what it's called. You heard of this?
No.
Ectolife. It's because you were talking about the depopulation of nations out there around the world, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And so Ectolife is pretty much promoting this idea where they can incubate babies in a warehouse.
Right.
That's bizarre, that's way out there.
Yeah, incubating babies, I don't know about that, but it's really interesting. In software, we tend to not think a lot about how services work, but one of the things that impressed me the most, I was reading actually an academic paper, and the service systems people literally talk about that atomic element of economics is the interaction between individuals when they provide service to one another. The claim is that all value is created from that interaction and all economic growth comes from that. And if you think in terms of the sustainable systems we need, you know, we're going to need to have a shift in what we think of value, and it has to turn into quality of life. How do we create value that manifests as experiencing quality of life? And how do you, and of course you have to make money and all the other things doing that, right?
All right,
But
questions? Right here.
Yeah, I had the same idea last week. I presented about a drone. It's called Bus for Nurse. So when it is like a watch which can call 911 when they fall down, you know. So similarly, a drone can help in some way when they are at home and they need to take medicine or something, it can deliver.
Right. Yeah. For sure, all those things are being done. There are like, hundreds of startups right now that are working on how to use, observational AI sensor systems to detect falls, to prevent falls. And then the question is, how do you make that operant, right? So I get a machine, somebody hacks some software together and it goes, oh, I think this old person's gonna fall, right? When an old person falls, if they get hurt and they have to go to the hospital, that usually costs $5,000 or 10, and then they get hurt. So how do you operationalize that? See, that's the problem. How do you take, oh, I think somebody's gonna fall, and then turn that into action and a solution, right? So that's why things need to be integrated. You have to be able to have complete solutions.
Cool. Yeah, I think I just had two thoughts. The first one is, I mean, this seems like a huge problem.
Thank you for not saying boil the ocean. Thank you very much.
But what I was gonna say is, and this is something I'd been thinking about, and I spoke with somebody else a long time back, is the first step to this is taking everybody's sort of like daily interactions, all your daily personal data, right?
Right.
And putting it up in a central place and letting you manage it, right? So that any of the services that want to use it to automate, for example, can use that.
I mean, that's really the thing right now. If you look at personal data networking, it's just all over the place. There's a model that's really interesting, is the Interrupt model, the Interrupt company, which is Tim Lee's spin-off company from MIT, where instead of centralizing and aggregating people's data, you put it in what they call solid pods, which are individually controlled, isolated, containers of personal data. And you can have many of those. And so imagine that I have, solid pods that have data. And then when I need to aggregate to operationalize, I can do that. I can aggregate into one spot. And in our architecture, we put a personal data store in the cloud, inside of a container, and with compute, and then with an automated networking system that.
And also controls and things like that.
Right. So a lot of the controls are automated with just using personal graph data, to drive things like, launching communication networks on an instance by instance basis, right? The kind of things that we want to do. I know it sounds complicated. I didn't make it that way. It just.
Part of that problem, like that in itself is a huge, like, game-changing business. Right?
Which part? The
part around aggregating, or some kind of an architecture, some kind of a place where all our personal data lives safely, and we have.
Oh, no, I mean, there are 4 or 5 companies globally over the last 18 months in the shadow of AI. The personal data systems companies have started to pop up with applications globally, and I mean, my favorite companies are Interrupt, DataSwift. There's a company in Australia that used to be DigiMe that now has a different name, and they're all doing the same kind of things. And it starts out with like, digital ID as a thing, but if you want to look at one that is, these guys just happen to have most of our architecture in a more general purpose form, is a company called Prefina. Just go ahead and look it up, Prefina. And what they do is they put personal data in a cloud, and then they allow applications to be developed that use your personal data to essentially create personal assistants, which in that case are you know, it's more like mediative AI, where you build a mediative process that goes shopping for you or that gets health information for your specific needs, that kind of thing.
Hi. It's a good idea. It seems very important. But how far along are you? Do you have like even like a little prototype, or is it just like research?
We did some POC testing, and I'll tell you how we did it. It's like, I won't take too much time, but my co-founder used to work at Intel, and one day he said, why don't you just, like, you know, the stuff on Google, the dots, and you got all these tools that fall down, why don't you like whack something, or hack, I guess is the word, hack something together that does a lot of what you want. At first I was, that sounds like bullshit. But then I said, wait a minute, he's right. And we built a test hub surface where we give each consumer gets a personal identifier that's their name, their phone number, and an email address, and then of course within that constitutes a URI. So we have everything you need to have a single point of contact, and we would use that to sign up for all kinds of different accounts and start driving the data into the single point. It became apparent right away that, damn, it's like I can hook this up to 100, you know, e-commerce sites, you know, labor platforms, government agencies, and we just turned it up and said fire away. Social media sites, just turned up everything and just hosed it with notifications and data. And that's the neat thing about it. We put an automated engagement layer in there that filters that information out, that in an intelligent way identifies what is relevant and important to the user. And then it also gives you the ability to, you know, if somebody's talking about yellow pages, you can have your name and phone number and email address on your t-shirt, and anybody in the world can try to contact you, but they have to be registered, authenticated, validated, etc., before they get in and get processed. And I mean, we lost that, and we need that. We need that sort of a transparent place to communicate. Now, we're still going to have to maintain our back channels for doing our illegal stuff, right? Because you're not going to want to do it in a transparent network.
All right, Mick. Thank you. All right, next speaker we have Jim. AI, what is that, study?
Talk to books. AI talk to books.
AI talk, okay.
I had to come up with something. Change the name. Jim White. I think I bill myself as a. Jim White. Some regulars will have dealt with me before. Jim White, ex-Google, a lot of other things. Very excited about ChatGPT 4. So was talking to, I think it was, so imagine there's a lot of self-help books out there of every variety. And I think a lot of people are interested in these books because they would like to get advice from the person who wrote it, which is probably not practical in a lot of cases. And so they try to write these books and break them down and give you easy to follow instructions. And I think, yeah, those are all great things to do. And then look at another YouTube. And so anyhow, the one came up this week, and I picked it because it was small. The PDF 360K, this is 50 questions for co-founders, and these guys who are experts in advising startups and co-founders, they had cooked this up amongst themselves over years in a document. Apparently not. Anyhow, it's just a PDF, and it's got 50 questions and a bunch of other stuff in it. And the story goes that you write some Python. Oh, gosh. Why can I not scroll? Anyhow, so this is a Jupyter Notebook running in Colab using some software called LangChain. And so I use some Python code to drop the PDF, ask Google Drive to turn it into a Google Doc, save that as an HTML file, because it turns out processing PDF files very complicated. I don't know if you noticed, but there was all kinds of formatting in that PDF. When you try to get the text out of it, it's all weird. Using Google's smart PDF to text stuff, which is part of Google Docs, takes care of that. And out comes a bunch of nicely formatted text. So like I say, we're skipping over the part where things that don't work, this works, you get the text out just like you would expect it to, reading it like a human, but which is not what you get when you just try to process the PDF with the low-level stuff. So give this to document summarizer chain in LangChain to say, just give me the 50 questions for the co-founders. Don't change any of it, but ignore all the garbage. I just want the 50 questions. And lo and behold, there's 50 questions. And like I say, it may seem wonderful when it all works, but not surprisingly, if you're a software developer, you know it doesn't work the first time. So anyhow, we take, thanks, and also if you know about LLMs, context sizes are an issue. So we're just going to take the first 10 questions of the 50, and so then I do a little prompt engineering, which is I write this prompt to tell ChatGPT what it's supposed to do, and it's going to be a nice friendly coach who's an expert on startups and going to guide me through answering the 50, in this case, 10 questions. So we paste these two pieces of text together. This here is a visual drag and drop tool for building Lang chains or Lang flows for doing things like interacting with ChatGPT. So I know it's very small, but that's that text that we just calculated on the previous page, the manually written prompt, the 10 questions, and this is some template stuff that's used for the conversation cycle with the LLM. So we've got our OpenAI key in here so we can talk to ChatGPT, initialize it, and we open up it. And I've already been having a little conversation, so I wouldn't have to start from scratch here. Hi, where do we start? It knows that I'm having a consultation session. I want to talk about co-founding. 1 minute? Cool. And so I say, yeah, hi, where do we start? Hello, it's great to have you here. As co-founders, it's important to understand each other's strengths, weaknesses, and working styles. So let's start with the first question. What are your strengths and superpowers beyond functional expertise? And so I say, it's hard to say. I like to think I have a crystal ball. And it's being friendly and cooperative, so it doesn't, look at me funny. It just says, that's an interesting way to put it. So it doesn't mean you consider yourself intuitive or good or pretty good. That's a very articulate way to say what I'm being pithy about. And so can you share in a specific instance? Very good advice. So I say, I've seen many advances before they happened. And then I gave a specific example about my principle back in I talk about in like 96 about how all software that matters will eventually be open source, and lo and behold, Sun open source Java to everybody's surprise. And so that's a great example. And then goes on to the next question. And it's a much friendlier way to have a cooperative person to go through this very challenging thing like answering 50 questions. And of course, we're just going to do one at a time. Thanks.
All right, Jim, thank you. Thank you. Questions? Do you have a question over here?
So have you tried Bard, Google's LLM?
Well, I did while I was at Google, which I left in April because I'm excited by ChatGPT 4, not by Bard. Now, maybe Gemini will be worth spending time on. But ChatGPT 4, I'm a computational linguist. I went back to school. I've been working on this stuff since literally the 70s. And ChatGPT 4 is the thing that made me quit Google.
Wow.
Thank you.
Question. Right back here.
So I didn't follow that part, but with just a paragraph of prompting, were you able to get ChatGPT to behave as a, like were you able to ground it to just focus on being a startup co-founding?
Yes. So there's like 3 sentences in the middle of there. So most of that prompt was, the beginning of it was the boilerplate that you'll see for ChatGPT in LangChain. but there was a few sentences inserted in there talking about focus on one topic. You're going to be very empathic. Explore the direction of the conversation with the human to find out, where they want to go and what will work for them. Because if you don't put in stuff like that, then you'll get, like you've probably seen from ChatGPT, where you say, oh, what do I do about X? And you'll get a wall of text and 7 bullet points about everything you might possibly do about it. So, but you give it some directions about how to be empathic and interactive, and then we'll have this conversational, interactive, step at a time kind of conversation. So it can be a very good coach. I think we got one more over here.
Where? Oh, right over here.
One of the challenges of having people do self-assessments is that it's themselves answering their own questions about themselves, particularly the question you had there, what are your own weaknesses? Where other people would say, my weaknesses are different than I would say they are. Can you have a drilling down kind of questioning to refine the broad questions down to narrow? So where you could have types of weaknesses, and then your system would make, an assessment of the likelihood of your own answers in those weaknesses, or for each of your questions.
I mean, everything's possible. So here, I don't need any devil's advocates. So what I'm looking for is supportive, empathic interpreters. So that's the kind of directions I give. If you want a drill sergeant or a skeptic to advise you, you change a few of those prompts, and that's what you get.
Maybe just more specific questioning that would get a more less chance of error in the answer a person would give.
Well, there's a whole philosophical thing, but I think the thing here is what I'm trying to show is that it's really easy to take information that's very detailed and then get the AI to be your coworker, your advisor, your therapist, to help you go through these difficult and tedious things, and can do things like take ordinary writing or speech that you can throw off the cuff, and it turns it into nice formal style that, because maybe, what comes out of this, and I didn't get to that step because I just whipped it up while we were waiting during the talks here, is produce a final document. And actually, in this particular case, it's about a questionnaire for 2 people to fill out, both the founders, and it can also work in a thing to discuss and refine and translate from one person to another. So there's, I think there's a really basically unlimited opportunity to use AI to help humans work on whatever they want to do.
Wow. Thank you, Jim. All right, Ilde, come on up. Talking about laser. Is it laser? User onboarding. I'm sorry. I thought that was laser. User onboarding. Who is the mysterious Ildefonso?
One second. Go. Connecting. Extend. Calling. Oh, it's probably the different. It's probably HDMI thing. You have to use this? Alright. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Alright. Oh, you can't see it yet. Come on. Wow. To go to the next desktop. It's not showing. My browser. It's weird that it's showing my desktop, but not my. It's extend extreme. That's what's happening. Just gonna try, but this would happen. All right, guys. This is a great start.
That's all right. I'll take a moment. Don't forget to join us tomorrow for the Hackers Block Party, starting at noon, 12 o'clock. Be here. All right. Hamburger pizza? There might be hamburger pizza. Yeah, come on by. Emily, are we going to have hamburger pizza? Yeah? I'm over here on your right. Go to the website. All the info.
Yeah. Okay, that was a minute. Cool. How's everyone doing? You guys awake? Yeah. All right. We're good? Is it working? Is it working? All right, everybody. How's it going? My name is Ildefonso Prieto, and today I'm going to be helping you guys to convert more of your free users into paying customers. This is going to be done by optimizing the user onboarding of your product. So, my name is Ildefonso Prieto, and I've been a product growth consultant for over 6 years. And this is some of the clients that I've helped with user onboarding. And today, I'm going to be sharing 3 secrets to help you optimize user onboarding that are going to help you get more users to sign up to try your product, improve the early retention rate for your product, and ultimately is going to get your free users to sit down, take their credit card out, and upgrade to the higher tier of your product. So, who's here ready to learn some awesome user onboarding? What is user onboarding? User onboarding is all about helping the user successfully adopt your product. You're basically like coaching them through their entire experience through your product so that they can be successful with it. So you're almost helping them level up throughout their journey. And ultimately, what you want is that they become power users, become one more of the power users of your product. Now, these are the 3 secrets that are going to help you optimize that user onboarding so that you can convert more free users into paid customers. The first thing that you need to do is that you have to optimize the very first time that someone interacts with your product, the first experience that they have, the first UX. This is very important because this is a very scary statistic. 40 to 60%, or about half of your new users will churn after playing with your product for 5 minutes. So the first time they use your product, after that, about half of your users are gone. So that's very important that you optimize that first user experience as much as possible. And that's what I'm sharing with you here today. And this is the first UX framework. It's 3 simple steps. The first thing you need to do is define a goal for the first user experience of your product. Then you map out the journey from the moment they sign up to the moment they achieve that goal that you set and defined. And then once you have that mapped out, you optimize the journey as much as possible. So those are the 3 steps. And basically, if you work on that very well, you'll be able to optimize that first user experience so that the user leaves the first time of using your product much more likely to successfully adopt your product. These are just some testimonials, but let's jump into secret number 2. The secret number 2 is that to optimize your user onboarding, you don't actually have to become a super expert on it. What you can do is get users to tell you what you need to fix in the user onboarding of your product. So you don't have to become an expert. Normally, usability testing is very hard, but in today's age and with the technology that we have, we can do remote usability testing in which in less than 24 hours, you can get all the research that you need to get done for your product. So I found these products and I couldn't believe it, and I put it to test with one of my clients, and it was amazing. Basically, you get all these recordings of the people using your product, and you'll be able to literally see what they're struggling with. And it might seem so dumb to you because you're a power user. It's like, why are you even doing that? But to a new user, they don't know your product. So they're just gonna stumble around everywhere. And you need to see that so that you can fix it. And this is how you do it. So basically, you don't have to become an expert. You can just user test. Okay, and then secret number 3 is gonna be all about getting more people to sign up for your product so that they experience that user onboarding experience that we just polished in secret 1 and 2, right? So the main reason why people churn after their first visit is twofold. So the first one being they don't even understand what your product is about, and if they do sign up, they don't experience the value. Secret number 1 was helping your users experience the value of your product in that first user experience. Secret number 3 is going to be about helping them understand your product. And to do that is the way you communicate. And this is all throughout your ads, your content, your landing page copy, everything, your emails, all the interactions that you have to take this into account. And basically the framework I want to share is that you basically have to imagine your users as Bruce Wayne and your software as a Batman suit. And together they become a super powerful superhero, right? And you never want to talk about the features of your product. You want to talk about that moment, that desired outcome that they get once they're wielding your superpower that you give them. So that's one of the things, how you get people excited to actually try to your product. The other thing that you can do is give proof that your product is going to solve their need. So this is testimonials, reviews, and case studies. The other thing is make it easy for people to sign up. So I had a client that asked for 14 things when they really needed to ask for 3 and a password. So make it easy. Obviously, you guys are all like this, but if you want to talk more, feel free to reach out to me. Here's my LinkedIn, or just talk to me after this, and I'll be happy to schedule a call, and we can just talk and geek out on your user onboarding.
Perfect, Gilda. Thank you. All right. Question, here you go.
That thing, it was the second step where you captured what the users were doing. What was that? How would you do that? What was that called? What was that tool?
So there's a bunch of tools. If you just if you look in Google remote usability testing, you'll find a bunch. The main one being user test. But the one I would recommend, low key, User Brain. It's the best service, quickest, and most affordable at the same time.
Cool.
All right, any more questions? Ilya, thank you. All right, our last speaker of the night, we have Syed. Where are you, Syed? Oh, he's already back there. Okay, macro and crypto. Syed does this pretty much weekly. He gives us an update of what's going on with the market. So yeah, if you guys have been here in any other week, you've pretty much seen his talk. He's pretty much our guy that closes out Lightning Talks for us. Thank you, Syed.
As you said earlier, use your brain. It's good advice, but it doesn't help actually now. So that week, everyone was watching mostly unemployment data, which come out today, Friday in the morning by our time, and it was 3.6% as everyone expected. So there is no surprises. However, that's not good for basically our perspective with the Federal Open Market Committee, because they are not our friends, right? They are rising rates, and that can actually lead to people not buying Bitcoin. So there is this indicator, which is measure private business employment. It is also up this week, and it's for about 97,000 jobs. In terms of economics, of course, it's good because it's more job for us. But again, from terms of the perspective of the pricing on the market is not good. Unemployment is down, as I said, and I'm just showing here everything starting from 1950s to the recent day, and you see that we are on 3.6%, which is record low. The nearest time we reached so low, it was 1969. It's a 50-plus year ago. So that gives so much ammunition to the hawks in Federal Reserve that many on the market start to be disillusioned with its perspective, because they can still hike and we can still experience pain because of that. However, there's not much to do for us. And on the negative side, so the previous was a positive, because that was a positive for the economy. On the negative side, we have manufacturing product purchasing managers index, which is a forward-looking indicator. It means that there is a purchasing managers all across the country. They are looking at their stocks and saying, okay, so the next month we're going to buy more than the previous one because we believe in the economy. So it's a traditionally important indicator to prognosis the future. And because it's down more or less, we're saying, okay, manufacturing going to be slow and economy going into recession. But it's not necessarily true, but that's how market looks at it right now. The result, NASDAQ was crazily volatile, not characteristic for NASDAQ on such a height. So it means that traders undecided. Same is here for Bitcoin. We got this huge dump from 21, almost $1,000 after everyone panicked on Thursday data when, again, this employment come out. But then someone step in as usual, try to buy in. More or less prospectively, we're probably going to be fluctuating this a little bit on the downside. Still not certain because everyone expecting something to move market either up or down. It's not kind of good for anyone wanting to step into the market. And how much time I have left? There's no seeing the screen, 2 minutes. I just want to, at the conclusion, I want to put here 2 graphs because many people asking whether Bitcoin is a gold or not. It definitely not, because you see the gold is on all-time highs. It's fluctuating, trying to get over 2,000. Many expecting it to go over, but technically speaking, you see this like a funny head and shoulder starting to appear, or double top on the technicals. So maybe we got like step down, but gold is very much contingent to what's going on with the United States dollars. And it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. But so many people in our space, they are saying, forget about gold, go to Bitcoin. But you see that gold is still, its volatility of gold so much lower than with Bitcoin. So the people who want to preserve their wealth, that's probably still the choice. And then I got up here the price of silver, which is another alternative, but mostly that's 2 definitely different commodities because industrially gold has not too much there's not too much to do with gold except jewelry and electronics a little bit, but silver is huge on that. And lately, many people start to prognostize that consumption of silver will increase because of the solar panels and because of the new energy. So might be we're going to be up there. So that's it for today. Any questions? $5 for the question.
How can they get in touch with you?
$6 for the question.
This is just market data. So what is your product? So what do you, this is just market data. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, my name is, sorry, I'm always forgetting to do that. My name is Sweetlo. You can find me in Telegram. And we are Evernomics.com. That's digital wealth managers perpetual contract, which means that we got we're starting with $100 of your money and we try to grow it steadily but long term. That's basically what we're doing.
All right, you're a money manager.
Like a portfolio more. Maybe don't touch your money because you just send your money to smart contract. So we have nothing to do. We just design smart contract.
All right. So do you have like a bend towards Bitcoin? Are you like a money manager that leans towards crypto or stuff like that? Or do you look at other things and crypto's off to the side?
Okay. So ideally what we aim to do is to replicate all the available commodities and in like financial instruments from the CeFi or centralized finance to DeFi, decentralized finance. For example, you can trade oil futures right now on some platforms. For example, on Binance Smart Chain, there is gold futures, there is oil futures, and there is even soybeans futures, if I'm not mistaken. And you can replicate what you do with your digital wealth, so with your like regular wealth, I don't know how to call it, like fiat wealth, to the digital realm. That's what we try to give our clients. Why it's good? Because basically, if you are traveling, or if you're not, like, if you're doing many operations in different markets, your fees are drastically less in DeFi. It's just catastrophically less.
So I follow this. This is what I spend most of my time doing. Okay, is following these markets. All right. So is it fair to say that you are trying to work in the alternative economy of digital stuff, like you have like the normal currencies, the fiat currencies, the normal economy, then you have the whole crypto world, you know, of
I'm object, sir.
Okay.
We are part of the normal world.
all
of it,
right,
right?
all right.
Yes.
All right. The sort of like offshore, if you will, you know, non-regulated. You're not doing that.
Like another objection, we are regulated. Depending on the countries, it's only in the United States they do not provide any clear guidance regulatory. That's all this conflict going on. But yes, of course, we all regulated. However, of course, regulation is giving us much more freeways right now. It's still like mostly outside of the regulation. That's allowed to do many things which cannot be done in a C5. However, still it's legal. It's not like we're trying to hide your money from taxes. It's
Right,
still,
but you have to do it offshore because you can't do it in the United States, right? I mean, if you're dealing with all these unregulated cryptocurrencies, you can't really, in the United States, that's my understanding at least, you know, take people's money. It has to be offshore because it's too strict here in the United States,
no,
right?
in the United States you can give like below $10,000. That's possible. Plus, of course, you can buy on what's the name? CoinDeck. Binance still like legal, right? So operating with cryptocurrency is legal in the United States. Something is not legal, for example, ICOs. You cannot do that. We are not doing that. By owning crypto, transacting in crypto, you can do that unless, of course, you don't forget to report to IRS. But that's your personal responsibility, of course.
We'll take this afterwards. All right, Svet, thank you. Yeah, better wrap it up. All right. I do want to plug in one last thing here. The block party.
And we playing poker today.
Oh, and poker afterwards.
Yes. At 9.
All right, there's a lot of information about the block party here that I want to get to you guys, if you guys didn't take a chance to look through it. How we're looking. All right, the block party, it's on Meetup, so definitely go to Meetup if you guys plan on attending. This is important because there's a link here if you guys want to purchase a food ticket. Food is important. You guys need to eat, all right? And we're doing a fundraiser here for tomorrow, eh? Oh, sorry. There you go. Hi. Okay. You click on that. You click on the link. This is what pops up. All right. The food's gonna be about $11, $11 per ticket. So make sure you guys get you guys' tickets there. Okay. I just want to let you guys know. Get you guys tickets. Otherwise, it's $15 at the door. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. With that said, you guys, thank you guys for hanging out with Laney Talks here at Hacker Dojo. And until next week, catch you later.